right, looks like everyone is in their seats. Good morning. My name is Tim Carroll, and welcome to Max Minutes, our special edition. I like that actually. We need to come up with a name with that, like super special, super silver edition. Tim Carroll, I'm Senior Director of Educated Workforce at the Metro Atlanta Chamber. Excited to have you this morning. Just a couple of things before we kick off into our program. One is we want to thank our anchor sponsors, WorkSource Georgia, Metro Atlanta WorkSource, sorry, I'm flipping between screens, CareerRise, Goodwill of North Georgia, Metro Atlanta Chamber, Accenture, who we're going to hear from in just a minute, BDI, First Step Staffing, and am I saying Department of Human Services? Yes, correctly. And excuse me while I'm flipping screens too. Here's some upcoming events we've got coming with Max. These are, looks like some really good programming. We've been knocking it down in the programming this summer. The first one's on the power of people with disabilities, and the second one's going to be on skilled trades with McKinney's. And I will repeat these at the end, but you should have gotten invites for these in your inbox. Also, a reminder that if you haven't filled it out yet, the Max Community Impact Survey, and share some data about how you're making a difference in your community. This is really going to help inform our work and help us keep ourselves accountable. So we would appreciate your participation if you haven't already completed that. Just a short agenda this morning. Like I said, we're going to do this welcome part, and then I'm going to turn this over to our two esteemed guests and then let them dive right in. So without further ado, let's get this special edition launched. Our first guest is Thomas Flake. He is the U.S. Program Manager for Accenture's Skills to Succeed. And a Skills to Succeed Academy. Wow, my words are failing this morning. It's Friday, y'all. Sorry. This is a free online training platform that has helped over 100,000 learners across the U.S. build the skills and confidence they need around career planning, finding a job, and succeeding. He manages partnerships with nonprofits, government agencies, community colleges, as well as middle and high schools. I like that you're covering all of our workforce pieces, Thomas. This is helpful. Implementing the Skills to Succeed Academy as part of their current programs, or helping them as they develop new programming. Speaking of new programming, our next guest speaker is Jacque Joyce, the Industry Partnerships Director at CareerRise. She earned a Master's in Urban Planning from the University of Louisville and a bachelor's degree in business management from Kennesaw State University. And her work focuses on supporting regional workforce development strategies. She cultivates relationships across many sectors and builds leadership skills and creating innovative strategies to deliver incredible services. So we are excited to have you both with us. Thomas, we're looking forward to hearing about your work, and I'm going to turn it over to you for the remainder of the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Tim, and thanks for being here with me today, Jacque, and thanks for putting this together, Joy. So I'll go ahead and share my screen, but yeah, like he said, Thomas Flake out of Atlanta here. I am the U.S. lead and the program manager for the Skills to Succeed Academy, and so I think he did a great introduction. So I'm going to make sure that I'm sharing sound and share my screen. So if you're not already familiar with Accenture, it is a professional services company, and technology is really at the heart of what we do. And we took that technology know-how and our point of view as an employer, and we created the Skills to Succeed Academy. It's part of our corporate citizenship program. And since we started that program and the Skills to Succeed program underneath corporate citizenship, we've trained over 5.5 million people with the skills needed to get a job and succeed in work. And that's globally. The Skills to Succeed Academy is one of the programs under the Skills to Succeed program, and And so far, we've skilled over 300,000 learners across the globe in the 9 different platforms of this academy. With our US version, we rolled that out back in 2017, and we have a goal of 150,000 learners. We're currently getting close to 120, which is extremely exciting. And we're excited that partnerships like yours will help us reach and achieve that goal, and so we can set a new goal. I do like to kick off the demo with this video here. I think it really sets the stage for what the Academy is all about and how unique it is.
Welcome to Skills to Succeed Academy. Your journey to success begins now. It's time to take ownership of your career and build the right skills for your future. Accenture's Skills to Succeed Academy is a free online program designed to guide you on this journey from choosing the right career to finding a job and achieving success in the workplace. Skills to Succeed Academy offers interactive, highly effective courses. It's a fun, engaging way to learn through simulations of real-life work scenarios, like an interview or the first day of a job.
So you must have some weaknesses. Nobody's perfect. What would you say your weaknesses are?
These simulations let you decide what the characters should say and do, and you can even learn from their mistakes.
Well, I'm not too good at getting up in the morning. I'm just not a morning person, which makes me really late for things. I really need to work on that. I've got no get up and go.
Different combinations of choices lead to different outcomes, so you can see how things turn out based on your decisions.
One of my biggest weaknesses used to be taking criticism. At school, I used to get really defensive when teachers spoke about my work. Now I know that feedback can be a good thing, so I get less defensive nowadays.
Good example.
It's just like real life. Join Skills to Succeed Academy today and take ownership of your tomorrow.
So I just really like that video. I think it, like I said, sets the stage for, how unique the Academy is and how beneficial it can be to your learners. So some key points and headlines about the Academy. So first and foremost, this is a completely free online learning program that was designed to build the skills and confidence in your people so they can make good career choices and get the job that they want and then succeed in the workplace. It was initially designed for a younger job seeker, but really has been used with users of all ages and demographics. Even a senior citizenship training program uses it. And we created the Academy around 8 years ago in the UK. It has since expanded across 9 different countries, like I said a moment ago, with our US version rolling out back in 2017. And when we built our US version, we worked with subject matter experts, including job seekers, employers and career advisors to really understand the barriers that they face, that job seekers face, and the mistakes that are made during the employment process. And we tailored the Academy around that audience. It's just very media rich. It's an immersive way to learn by doing. We actually partnered with a gaming developer to create these performance simulations like you saw in that video a moment ago. And it just makes it very interactive and fun. I use fun in quotes because that's a quote I've gotten several times from participants, and just a very effective way to learn. It's very flexible in terms of how it can be rolled out. It can be used in an individual self-study format, in the classroom, one-on-one with an advisor, or any combination of those. And it's based on the idea of blended learning. So we have online modules like you saw an example of in the video earlier. We have activity packs that apply what you just learned to your life experiences. So like a homework assignment that goes along with the module. And then we've created some great discussion guides so that you can bring the discussion into the classroom or, however you engage with your participants. And you don't have to do a lot of planning, which you'll hear about in my success story with Jackie, if she makes it back in a little bit. It's extremely easy to implement. There's nothing to install, configure, or customize. It's just a website that you use with your tablet or PC and start learning. And it's made up of 3 courses with 36 total modules. Some partners use just one module, or in CareerRise's case, which Jackie is going to speak to in a little bit, they used all 36 modules. But really it is, since it is that modular format, you're able to pick and choose which modules fit with your organization's needs or with your specific learners' needs. So a little bit more about the modules. So You and Your Career has 6 modules. It starts with identifying your interests and your skills, what motivates you and what is your style. And you'll create a career action plan to walk away from the academy with. So you're making sure that you're taking the right steps to get that job or career that you want. And then getting a job is really the heart of the academy, in my opinion. It has 20 modules and starts with identifying your transferable skills and creating a resume and tailoring it to specific job opportunities. Teaches you how to make a good first impression and how to prepare for all types of interviews, whether they're face-to-face, on the phone, a panel interview, or in an update we did when the pandemic started, a virtual interview. And exciting fun fact, we're actually building a whole new performance simulation around virtual interviewing. So that will roll out hopefully this fall. And then there's a module on how social media can help or hurt you in your job search. It covers things like cleaning up your social media profile, and in that activity pack, you're gonna build your LinkedIn profile. And then once you have the job, how can you be successful so you can keep it? So Success in Work has 10 modules and starts with the fundamentals, like why it's important to be on time for work and how to plan out your route the night before. And then it moves on to topics of professionalism, teamwork and collaboration, how to handle conflict in the workplace, time management, staying motivated, seeking and acting on feedback, just really everything that you need to be successful in those first few days and weeks at your new job. We tried to make the academy as realistic, relevant, and engaging as possible, and we did that by use of character storylines. So your students will meet these characters from various geographies and life experiences who are all going out for different types of jobs. Like I said, the academy was built for a younger job seekers, so a lot of people think that these characters seem a little bit young, but in all the updates that we do to the academy, we're always adding in a diversity of different types of voices and life experiences. So in an update that I did last year on an elevator pitch project, I added in like a single mom returning to the workforce, or a retired veteran who's looking for a job in security, just to name a couple of examples of how we're always trying to get different types of characters in there. So your students find them relatable. We like to say that the academy is like a flight simulator for the world of work, and that's what makes it stand out from other platforms. Your learners will meet a career coach who will help them along their career journey and provide feedback and guidance through the modules. And like I said, they're going to work through real world career challenges with these character storylines. We've also built in all of those subject matter experts on video. We interviewed those career advisors, the employers and job seekers themselves. About 50 of them were interviewed when we built the US Academy, and they were interviewed live on camera. So they're packed into the modules as well. So all in all, like I said, it's very media rich with the characters, these character storylines and the subject matter videos. We have got about 4,500 video clips in this platform. So like I said, it's very media rich. So I want to go over to the site now and show you around a little bit. So I do give 2 types of access codes to you. So there's a staff access code for you and your fellow faculty members, which is going to give you access to this advisor tab at the top. And then there is this courses tab here. This is what the students will see. They will see everything else except for the advisor tab. And the first time that you get to this courses tab, which is where a student will land when they log in, there will be this pre-assessment at the top here that can let you narrow down the focus of the academy based on your organization's needs, or if you have a student who is needing a specific learning journey, they can create that here. You can still access all of the modules by clicking on the tiles below, but let's just say that I want to brush up on my interview technique, and it's going to be a face-to-face interview. So it shows here I have 7 modules that I need to complete to get ready for that interview. And these 7 modules will now remain on this courses tab until I click the change button at the top and change my learning journey. So let's go into the wild here together. And this is the very first module in the 20 modules that are in Getting a Job. This is Sam's very first interview. A little bit of a spoiler. He's not really prepared. He thinks that he can win the interviewer over with his charm. And let's see how it goes for Sam.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm going to give you help and feedback. Sam's about to arrive at an interview for a job at Grizzly Hotels in Yellowstone. The job is part of a countrywide program to encourage young people to work in our national parks. A week or so ago, he passed a screening interview over the phone. Yesterday, he participated in a group exercise, and now he's traveled to the hotel where he'll work if he gets the job. The program has paid for his travel. He's been asked to wear high-visibility clothing in preparation for a tour of the maintenance departments. You're going to decide what...
So I just like to play that entire introduction there. I'm going to mute it here towards the end and introduce you to Kayla. So like I said, they meet a career coach who's going to be with them through their entire learning journey. So Kayla is that career coach and will be with your student to help them along the way. So let's go on into the interview.
So, I'm Michael. Good to meet you. Thanks for coming to the group exercise stage yesterday. Did you have a good trip?
It's up to you to decide what happens next. Click each option to read it. Click Watch to see it. And when you've decided, click Choose. Sometimes the text of all the options will be the same. That's when you'll need to watch the body language closely by clicking Watch. If you get stuck, click the question mark and click Next or Close to start. Good luck!
Sorry about that. I was trying to shut down Teams so it would not make sounds at you. All right, so as you can see here, if I hover over the 3 options, it shows you what Sam is going to say, but this time he says the same thing 3 different times. So let's see the different ways that he can say it.
Yes. Great, thanks. I got to talk with some of the hotel staff who were traveling with us, and we saw some buffalo on the way through the park, which was cool. The interviewer yesterday told me to give this to you. Here you go.
And the second one?
Yes, great, thanks. I got to talk with some of the hotel staff who were traveling with us, and we saw some buffalo on the way through the park, which was cool. The interviewer yesterday told me to give this to you. Here you go.
And the last one here. That second one always makes me want to take a nap.
Yes, great, thanks. I got to talk with some of the hotel staff who were traveling with us, and we saw some buffalo on the way through the park, which was cool. The interviewer yesterday told me to give this to you. Here you go.
So normally on these demos, I have you vote, but for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and choose this last one.
Yes, great, thanks. I got to talk with some of the hotel staff who were traveling with us, and we saw some buffalo on the way through the park, which was cool. The interviewer yesterday told me to give this to you. Here you go.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, those bison are amazing, aren't they? You don't want to get on the wrong side of them, though.
All right, so I love this interaction because no matter how much you prepare for an interview, a conversation like this can really throw you off, and how you handle that says a lot about your character. So Sam said that he saw a buffalo on the way through the park. The interviewer called it a bison. Sam's a little confused. Let's see how he can respond. I'm going to start with the second one here.
Bison? I don't think I've ever seen one of those. I saw a buffalo. Do they look alike?
That one's good. He asked a question for clarification.
Yeah, they are fascinating. Buffalo and bison, both fascinating. And yeah, you don't want to catch either of them on a bad day. So about this job.
This one, he's clearly making up a response and acting like he knows what he's talking about, which doesn't go so well for Sam. As you can see, there's a good answer, a kind of so-so answer, but what I want to show you is what happens if your student makes the completely wrong choice. Let's hope none of your students ever pick this top one.
Bison? I didn't see any bison. You aren't listening.
Yes, I was listening. I'm sorry, but you've come all the way here for nothing. Goodbye.
Whoops, that didn't go too well. Here's an overview of how you're doing. Click next to get more detailed feedback.
So like I said, this was built by a gaming developer. So just like a game, if you go down the wrong path, it's game over for you. But this isn't really game over for your students. So Kayla's going to explain on this next screen that she is going to give you feedback on each interaction you've had so far. So these are the two topics that we've covered so far. The first one we got right on body language, and the second one on assumptions we got wrong. So let's check out the feedback.
I'm going to give you feedback.
So she also explains that you can rewatch each scenario here. So this is the first scenario on body language. You can rewatch the option you chose and then click here to see the options you rejected and watch those. And here's her feedback on what we chose.
Good job. You chose the right body language for Sam. He looked composed, confident, and well organized.
And then one of my favorite pieces of the Academy is this reference zone here. So a lot of teachers will deliver these modules in the classroom in a group setting. And so a lot of our organizations do that across the board too. And these reference zone topics are great resources to deep dive into the different topics of each interaction. So I want to go in here and show you an example of a real employer sharing a story about the importance of body language during an interview.
On the next few screens,
skip through this a little bit to show you this video.
A time where I interviewed an individual who I thought would have been a great candidate for our company based on his application and his resume. And the second he walked in for the interview, he sat down, he didn't shake my hand, he slouched in the chair, his arms was folded. He just seemed like he didn't want to be there. And for me, that spoke a lot. His body language told me a lot about his personality, even though his work experience and his application showed that he would have been a good candidate. His body language told me something different. So we ended up not hiring the gentleman.
So
I'm going to give you feedback.
I just like to show that example because those interviews that we did with those subject matter experts were, like I said, live on camera and just very organic conversations that we had with them about their personal experiences. So it's exciting that they're in there sharing real life tips for success with your learners. So let's keep going here and see what Kayla has to say about me telling the interviewer that he wasn't listening.
Sam assumed Michael was talking about two different animals, and was rude about it too. It's always better to admit you don't know something instead of making assumptions.
And then the reference zone is gonna pop up on this topic as well, which comes in really handy when students get a question wrong. A lot of instructors advise their students to deep dive into the feedback when they get a question wrong and go in there and check out those resources in the reference zone. But let's keep going.
Let's rewind and try again. This time, avoid making assumptions. Click next to continue.
So like I said, unlike a game, it's not really game over for your students. Now, if I click next, it's going to take me back to the interview where we got the question wrong. I now have the chance to get it right, and you can proceed through that, whatever interaction that you're in these 10 performance simulations. So we have 10 of these. And then we have 26 more traditional computer-based training modules. Those, are, if you've taken any type of online training, they're similar to that format in that they have different activities to help you learn the content. There's still the character storylines. There's also those videos from the subject matter experts that are built into those modules as well. If you have a sharp eye, you might see me as one of those employers talking about the importance of researching the company the night before or before your interview. So those are the computer-based training modules. And like I said, we have 26 of those. Those end in a downloadable activity pack that are editable PDF forms. So this one's all about identifying your skills. They're going to look at the different areas of life where they can find experiences where that would have transferable skills. And these are editable PDF forms, so they can type their answers right into these forms. And these are optional additional activities at the end of each of the computer-based training modules that that really, like I said earlier, drive home the content of the Academy and bring it to life for your learners, because it's really a it's really what brings the Academy to life, is what I'm trying to say. Like I said, these are optional. They are also offered in Spanish. So if you have any students where English is not their first language, but Spanish is, and they're struggling to get through the module because it's only offered in English, they can click here and still learn the content from this activity pack alone. And I can deep dive into all of the resources that we have a little more in detail if you would like to set up some time with me to do a full demo with your team. I'll talk about that more in a moment. So I see some questions in the chat. I promise I will get to those. One of them was, what if the student wants to select multiple options here? So yes, you can select as many as you want and create a custom learning journey on, a variety of answers there. So while I was on that screen, I wanted to show you that. Ways that students can report in progress to you, they can turn in these activity packs, or they can go to this progress page and it's going to show you how they're doing across all of the modules. It will show you, so it means that it shows, that I've completed this module, started this one, but haven't completed it, and this one's not even been started. It also shows you the quiz score for the modules that have quizzes. All of the computer-based training modules, those 26 modules all have quizzes, so you can report in your quiz score there, and the students can either email this progress page into you or download a copy of it to themselves and upload it into your learning management system. It looks like we have somebody, Carol, that has their hand up. If you do have a question, you can come off mute, Carol, or type it in the chat. I'll keep going for the sake of time. There's a lot of resources over here on the advisor tab that is really great for you as you're planning and delivering the Academy. And like I said, if you decide to join us as a partner for this free platform, I can do a training with you and your team, and I will deep dive into this. I would like to call out this module and character reference is a great resource that has some great planning materials actually, this is just a resource that shows you a quick listing of the objectives of all the modules and the time to complete. The one that I really like to call out, though, is this module guide and diagnostic. I'll go ahead and put this in the chat. You can look at this now if you want. You do not need access to the Academy to open it. But this document has some great planning resources in it. It's got great resources for delivering the content, and is what Jackie says is her best friend and saved her life when she started implementing the Academy a couple years ago. So I'm going to let her speak to that a little bit more in just a moment. I promise I'm almost done. But like that pre-assessment, this document has all of the scenarios that the Academy covers and what modules fit with those different scenarios. So this is great for planning. It's also great for delivering the content because there are module guides for all of the modules here that tell you how long it's going to take your student to get through the module, and has participant discussion questions that you are able to use as well. The Academy is screen reader compatible. So for those users that need a screen reader, we do a lot of testing to make sure that their user experience is great. And this document here, the accessibility guidance document, talks about the level of ADA compliance that we meet. I'm bouncing around a little bit. I'm sorry. There's a staff and learner quick start guide, so guides to help you and your students get started. There's certificates of achievement here you can create for your students, or they can create their own over on the progress page. And then there's that promotional video I showed at the beginning of this call is available for you to see here. And you can download it and share it with your team. And then there's a social media and marketing messaging toolkit here that is going to help you with verbiage of how to talk about the academy, so you're not trying to think about ways to describe it. We've got that verbiage created for you. You can customize it as you wish and make it your own and send it out. How is it delivered? So we see it delivered in a variety of ways, from a computer lab setting where you are there facilitating discussion, but all of your students have their own PC or tablet, and you show them how to register. You get them started on a module in the computer lab. The homework model is what Jacque used, and is where you assign modules to the students to take outside of the classroom, and then use the module guide and diagnostic to fill to have discussion with them the next day in class. And then the Career Center approach is more one-on-one coaching. So like a student comes to you and says they need to get ready for their interview. You guide them to the pre-assessment. They select the options that they, to get ready for that interview, and it shows the custom learning journey. They work through those modules, and now they come back and get more targeted coaching from you, and it saved a lot of your time. And then the presenter approach is just like I'm doing here today with you in this demo. If you wanted to project it on Zoom or Teams or something like that, or in front of the classroom live in person, walk through a module, have your students vote on which responses that you should choose, and then do a group report at the end to say that you had X number of students complete this module in a group session. That is another story Jacque will tell you in a moment on how we did that last fall together. So I saw a question about reentry programs. I was saving that for this slide. These are the different types of audiences, programs, and organizations that use the Academy. It's really used across high schools, in middle schools in some areas, colleges, nonprofits, and government agencies, from youth, adults, senior citizens, learners with disabilities, veterans, justice-involved youth and adults. So reentry programs is a great topic that somebody brought up. The Missouri Department of Education is one of our largest users and uses it in all of their different locations for their reentry justice-involved youth and adults. Head Start parents use it, TANF recipients, refugees, ESL students. We have a lot of community colleges and that use this in their English as a second language course. And they really like the Academy has multi-sensory learning options, I guess is how I would say it, in that it has video, audio, and for all of the video and audio, there's text on the screen as well. And then you see this in the third column is a lot of community development programs. So WIOA youth programs, college and career planning programs, employability boot camps or classes, digital skills trainings, rural centers, and summer jobs programs. And then that last column is where we're seeing a lot of community college programming, or just a sampling of a lot of the community college programming where we see the Academy having a lot of benefit. So I have a lot of success stories in this deck, and I will make sure that this gets sent out to everyone, but I like to call out Charles there in the middle. He was a high school graduate with no work history or transferable skills. He was diagnosed with autism, borderline intellectual functioning, and ADHD. And he worked with an employment specialist on some Academy modules to assist him with building his job skills and helping him with the appropriate interview behavior, how to research jobs, and how to network. And he received a job offer from a major retailer. And last we heard from Charles, he was working towards a more independence and receiving compliments from his coworkers. All right, so you saw certifications. Does that mean that they're getting actual courses or just finding what they need for their career pathway. So it's not a certification, Donna. It is a certificate of completion. So a lot of you can create certificates of completion based on any kind of course that they've completed. So if they've completed getting a job or success in work, you can create a certificate there. Or you can create a certificate maybe at the end of your cohort showing that they've completed all of the different modules you required of them. A lot of students do talk about in their interviews that they completed Accenture Skills to Succeed Academy. Since our name is very big globally, it's a great talking point. And one of our community colleges said that one of their students actually have their certificates of completion in a portfolio with their GED. I thought that was cool. So, but who I'd like to introduce next is right in the middle of this slide, Jacque, the program manager of the Career Compass program, who Tim introduced earlier. Jacque, are you able to come off mute and share a little bit about your success with the Academy?
Yeah, definitely. I hope everybody can see and hear me okay. My internet has gone down in our house for some reason, so I'm on my phone. One of those just make it work days, right? But I'm really excited to be here and share with you all how we have been able to use the Skills to Succeed Academy in a couple of different ways. So let me talk about the first way, which is in our Career Compass Academy. So when the pandemic happened, we were working with our worksource boards and recognized a need to be able to support youth in a virtual career exploration program. And part of the things that we wanted to do was introduce them to different industries, let them talk to industry professionals, but we also wanted to include a work readiness component. And I was doing some research on what resources are already available out there, how do we incorporate this, and very serendipitously, I attended a meeting that Thomas was at to share the information about the Skills to Succeed Academy. And I said, that's exactly what we need. I need to get this into our program so I don't have to find anything else or do anything else to try to get this part and component of our program together. So we started using it and it's been really great. We have now done, oh my goodness, I think it's 7 cohorts at this time of the Career Compass Academy. We have 40 to 90 students participate with us each cohort. We do 3 a year. We incorporate 15 webinars, and then we have our students complete all 36 modules into our 5-week program. We do, just like Thomas mentioned, more of that homework style with the Career Compass Academy. At the end of each webinar, we do 3 a week. We assign them 2 to 4 modules. And then the next day in those webinars, we go over those modules. And that's when we use the diagnostic guide to not have to do every single module ourselves. Thank goodness, to be able to have a discussion with the students. We were able to utilize the diagnostic guide to be able to have a quick synopsis about what the module was about. There are discussion questions in there, so we're able to pull some discussion questions and have a dialogue via chat with our students via Zoom. So our program is completely virtual, and at the end of each week, the students send us a progress report from the Skills to Succeed Academy so we can track their progress through the system and through the modules. It's been really great for us as students. Always talk about how much they really appreciate the modules, how they learn so much. The interview modules tend to be some of the ones that are most helpful for the students. That's what they report back to us. And so it's been a really great way to know that this is something that's been tested before, that is being used in lots of different places. And we do always have really great feedback from our students using the Skills to Succeed Academy in our program. The other way that we've been able to leverage and utilize this platform is last October, we partnered with our CTAE directors in our 10-county region, and we hosted a virtual career expo. And so we had 6 different sessions going on at the same time, and then we did those same 6 sessions 4 times so that high school and middle school students could do some career exploration with industry professionals. We focus on 5 different industries, but we know that there are lots of CTAE pathways that don't fall into our top industries. And so we talked with Thomas and said, hey, Thomas, can you go through one of the modules with a group of students virtually? And he said, absolutely, I would love to do that for you. So he participated with us and ran an additional session where they actually went through that module that you guys saw earlier today. And everybody loved it. When we got feedback from our CTAE directors and our teachers that participated, that was the favorite module or the favorite session of everybody because it was so interactive. Thomas had Mentimeter up. The students were replying in real time and helping him go through that module. And they loved how interactive it was. They loved the content of it. And so we're trying to think about for our current plan for our next one is how do we incorporate some of those aspects into some of our other sessions that are more industry focused. But we had over 2,000 students go through that module through the virtual Career Expo. And it's just been a really great opportunity for us to be able to partner with Accenture, to be able to partner with the Skills to Succeed Academy. We then also provided the student link to the teachers that participated in our expo, and Thomas has shared with us that they are also utilizing the full suite of modules as well, which has been really great and really exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. And Jackie, I would like to plug a fun fact that the meeting that you said that you attended where you were introduced to me was this exact meeting. The first time I did this back in 2020, I presented on Max Minutes and Jackie was there and reached out to me from this same call. And here we are 2 years later, and now you're being featured as a success story. So thank you so much for that success. Yeah, doing these sessions with partners in a group setting like that, like I did for their virtual career expo, is something I've done with several partners, one of them being Opportunity ATL. We did a group session like that as well. Jobs for America's Graduates, I've done it with a group of high school students there. So it was really fun. I had no idea live in the moment that day that I was being projected to 2,000 students. And when I heard that afterwards, I was like, whoa, that was really funny to me. So like I said, so thank you so much, Jackie, your support and sharing how well the Academy has worked for CareerRise. Really, I think it just goes a long way in helping me share how successful this program is. I have a lot of these different success stories out there for you to look at. I will attach them in the slides. There's a lot of them in the appendix for different types of learners. There are some reentry success stories, high school success stories, community college success stories, nonprofit ones. So look through those, and I have all the ones in the appendix have headers of the type of learner. And so whatever type of learner you have, that will help you understand some success from there. Yeah, so Donna, I'm gonna show you a slide here in a second on how to reach me. But this shows the benefits across the board, from the learners to you as the faculty to the organization as a whole. Learners really like that they can learn anywhere, on their own pace. At their own pace, and it's a more gamified learn by doing approach. They get to learn in a safe environment with feedback and coaching, and can personalize the training to their needs if that's available. Or you can also, as the organization or as the advisor, you can also personalize it to your organization's needs, whatever topic you're trying to teach to your students. Faculty find that it saves them a lot of time, developing content and delivering foundational training. I love the quote Jackie said to me, that module guide and diagnostic saved my life, because she said she didn't have to go through all the modules, learn the content, create discussion around it, we've already done that for you. So it frees up a lot of your time for more targeted coaching and advising, and then to the organization, you create a partnership with Accenture and reach new learners, and it can complement existing programs, or as you're developing a new program, you can, help build that program with the academy modules, as part of that. There's no additional cost and no development effort to you, and really builds capacity within your organization, and it provides high quality online employability training to you. So how to reach me? You can scan this form. It's just a simple Google form that will just let me get your contact information, and I will be able to reach out to you right away. You can also email me directly at thomas.flake@accenture.com. So I'll put that in the chat so you have my email. But Joy, I believe, is going to send out the slides for me today. And so that will also have this information in there. But I also have a direct link to the form. If you can't get your QR code to scan, you can click that form there. It's just a simple contact form so that I can reach out to you, and I'll keep an eye on that today. If I see your information come in, I'll send you an email to set up some time. But I'm happy to do this demo, and I'll do a little bit more of a detailed demo with your team. We can set up some time to do that, and you can invite anyone from your team who would be beneficial to seeing this platform, and can demo a little bit more than what I did today. I just wanted to make sure we had plenty of time for questions and to get Jackie some time in there. All right, yep, so just making sure that went out. Did I miss any questions in the chat? You said you saw A+ on a slide when we were connecting them to a college. I mean, that was the A+ program that you saw on that slide was an example of a program that used the academy. So that program was connecting them to a college, or it might be embedded into another certification program. And they're using this as part of that program. So those were just an example of programs that use the academy. But the question that I get a lot is, why is it free, and what is the catch, right? So we don't ask for anything from you other than to set a goal and be committed to achieve that goal. I think Jackie set like a goal of 100 learners last year and got like 2,300 learners last year. So that's the definition of exceeding that goal, in my opinion. But we are trying to reach our 150,000 learner goal, and we're asking you, to help us put into our projections for the next year what we think that we will reach through partnerships like yours, and to be motivated to implement it and embed it into your programming, and demonstrate that expertise and commitment to successfully roll out new initiatives across your organization. The only other thing we ask from you is those learner and staff success stories. So when you have success like Jackie did, we'd love to be able to share that in the future in those slides, or live on a call like this, or if you have a student like Charles who had great benefit from the academy, we love those success stories. So that's really all that we ask from you as a partner, because we do provide this for free to you. We just ask that you have your learners actually use it. One thing I will say is, because we're such a large organization, global organization, we are bound by very strict data privacy regulations. So to be able to keep this platform free to you, I don't collect any personal identifiable information on your students. So I do provide reporting to you. It could be monthly or it could be quarterly, depending on the type of usage that you have. but it is aggregate data. And so that's why I was showing you ways that students self-report in modules to you. And I'm not sure that Jackie touched on this, but the way that she had students report into her was they had to do a journaling activity that was built out in a Google form. So it was a Google survey. And if I'm not mistaken, they had to put in, you know, what their favorite module was of the week and what modules they completed that week. And then I believe that they even had to upload their progress page into that form to show that they completed the required modules that week. Am I getting that right, Jackie? That's how you had students self-report into you?
Yeah, we would have them, there's an option on the progress tab to email your progress report to your career advisor. So we would have them do that journal activity that also asked them what was the module that they liked the most that week and what did they learn from it. And then we had them email their progress report to a Gmail account so that we could keep all of them together.
Great. Sometimes forms allow you to do a document upload as well. So they could actually email that progress page to themselves as another option and then upload that to a form. Or if you use any type of learning management system, maybe you use Google Classroom or Moodle or Canvas or anything like that, that's where you assign you can do assignments to students on virtually, and then so you could direct link into a module in one of those assignments on your LMS, and then they could upload their progress page or their activity pack to that assignment to show you that they completed that homework, that module and the requirement there. This is like kind of the onboarding process. So I just did a demo and discussion. Happy to do that with you. I'm also happy to set up a demo ID for you to explore the Academy and test it out. We have an onboarding questionnaire and a master license agreement that is a $0 license agreement. It does free up my time as a pro bono resource to you. And so that's just, it formalizes the partnership with Accenture so that I'm here to be able to train you and your staff and provide quarterly meetings or whatever we decide that we need when we establish the partnership. Once you get those documents back to me, though, we set you up with your unique access codes to the Academy and set up a train the trainer. And then the support phase, once you're set up, we provide reporting to you, progress meetings to see how you're doing, and help you brainstorm ways to embed it into your programs and expand it through your programs. And then we provide your annual results to you. So I think that I have touched on all the questions. Joy or Tim, did you see any questions that I missed? And if not, Tim, I will hand it back to you. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today and being here with me as I did this brief demo. And I hope to hear from you again. I'll go back to this slide and leave it there. How about that?
Thanks, Thomas. This has been a fascinating, kind of eye-opening morning for me. Big thanks to you and Jackie for sharing your time and expertise this morning and this really cool thing. I just want to remind everybody about our upcoming events, July 22nd and August 10th. We have a Max Minutes on the July 22nd around the power of people with disabilities, and July 10th, we have a Max Talk with McKinney's Unskilled Trades. If you have not yet completed the Max Community Impact Survey, please do that at your earliest convenience. That would be most helpful. I'm going to put these dates back up for everyone, if that's okay. There we go. And as always, I want to thank you again to our anchor sponsors and for supporting this work of Max. We greatly appreciate it. I'll put these dates back up. Thomas, Jackie, thank you again. Look forward to hearing about great things from this Academy in the future. We'll see everybody next time. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.